All right, guys. So we're talking about this graph. So when this is graphed, it has a slope of 1 and it goes through 0. So it's going to look like this straight line right here. When we add things like this, it's going to cause the graph to go up. So the whole entire line is going to shift up. In this scenario, it's going to go up 3. In this scenario, it's going to go down 2. Now, in this scenario, it is going to cause the graph to go to the left 2. Mr. Castor says that's a plus 2. I get it. So this plus 2, okay, when it's inside the parentheses, you're trying to figure out what's going to cause this to turn into 0. So how do you cause the parentheses to turn into 0? So that would be, a negative 2. That's why the number you put in here to turn it into 0 is how much it's moving to the left or to the right. In this scenario, I'm putting a negative 2 in there to make this parenthesis 0. So this is left 2. All right, this one here, okay, so it's 3x plus 5. So it's going up 5. So this is up 5. In the parentheses, it controls left and right. Not only is that correct, whatever the sign is, it does the opposite of what you think. So this plus 2 is actually 2 to the left. If there was a minus 2 in there, I would have gone 2 to the right. So the parentheses not only goes left and right, it also does the opposite of what you think. Now, if the slope changes, if the slope goes up, okay, if the slope goes up, that causes the line to stretch vertically. So this is up 5, and this is also a stretch. If you make something negative, it is going to flip the graph. So this negative sign flips the graph. Now, looking at the slope while ignoring the sign, you'll figure out if it's been stretched or compressed. This went from a 1 to a half, so it has been compressed. And it went up 4. Mr. Castro, why didn't you say right or left? Because nothing's inside of a parentheses. The parentheses controls left and right movement. All right, so here, how do you graph this? So first, just like this one, you have to make the absolute value a 0 inside. All the examples in this section are going to start at 0. So if you plug a 0 in this equation, you're going to get 0. Okay, so that's going to be right here. Now, if I plug a 1 in there, I'm going to get 1, the absolute value of 1 is 1. And here is the axis of symmetry. This is the vertex. The axis of symmetry is always going to be the x of the vertex. So this is a mirror, a line of symmetry. So if this is a line of symmetry and I have a dot here, there has to be a dot on the other side of the mirror, which means right there. So the original graph is going to look like this. Now, let's see what happens when I draw this one. I'll do this one with a pen. So this is 2. Okay, now this means it's going to go up faster, so it's going to look like a stretch. So let's do the example. So this is also going to be 0, 0. It's also going to start on 0, 0. And I'm going to put a 1 in this equation. So if I put a 1 in this equation, the absolute value of 1 is 1, times 2 is going to be 2. So if I plug a 1 in this equation, the answer is going to end up being 2. So 1, 2 is actually up here. 0, 0 is the vertex, where it's the start point. And it's going, so the axis of symmetry is 0, so the axis of symmetry is still going to be 0. So on the other side of this mirror is going to be the other point. So this is a stretch. All right, and if I do this one, it's going to be a flip and a compress. So let's look how that looks. So 0, 0, that's the vertex still. So it's still starting on this dot here. Okay? Then I know the axis of symmetry is still 0. So this is still the mirror. Let's put a number here. I'm not going to put 1 in this equation. Because the slope has a 2 in the denominator, I have to put a number here that's divisible by 2. So I'm going to put 2 in there. If you put 2 in this equation, the absolute value of 2 is 2. 2 times negative is going to be a negative. So positive times a negative is going to be a negative. So what I'm doing is I'm inserting a 2, just in case you don't know what I'm doing. I'm inserting a 2. So this times this is going to be negative 1. All right, so now I have the first point. So the first point is 2, negative 1. So on the other side of the mirror, so this one is flipped and compressed. All right, let's talk about movements again. So for this one, this is what the original looks like, and we're going to slightly move it little by little. So this one, plus 3 on the outside of the parentheses, or bracking here, or brackets here. Yeah, or actually this is the absolute value sign. So this is going to make you go up 3. So 1, 2, 3, and that's where it goes. If there's a minus 2, it's going to make it go down. So you draw the same thing, but it's going to be go down 2. This one would go to the left 3 because the plus 3 means you're going to go to the left 3. Remember, it's inside the parentheses, so I know it's controlling left and right, and you always do the opposite of what it says inside. So this is going to make me go to the left 3. 1, 2, 3. Right here, and then I go boom, boom, and there's my V. Here, this one, if you can see my hand here, this is minus 1 inside the parentheses, so I know I'm going to the right one, and then I make my V right there. This one here is a couple of movements. So the slope started at 1, so it turns into 1/3, so I know it's a compress. Has a minus 2 inside, so I know I'm going to the right 2, and a plus 4 on the outside, so I know it's going up 4. This one, it's 3/2, so it's larger than 1, which is the start point, and so that means it's going to be stretched, it's going to be flipped, and it's going down 2. Okay? I think that's it.